What's going on, guys? What's cracking? So, a couple things here. There's so much going on right now, but first off, let's talk about the fuel system. So if you guys can see everything here, all the fuel parts are showing up. We've got RaceFlux hose and fittings. I want to say this. I've never ordered from them before. I've never bought one single thing from them before. But I am beyond impressed, one, with packaging and how everything is labeled. Each individual package, when I got it, everything is labeled. Everything comes with a proper O-ring. You don't have to add your own. And the finish on the stuff is extremely nice. I had a couple of them out. I put them back in just so I don't lose them, because again, they're all nicely labeled. They all come with Viton, however you want to say it, O-rings. So they are completely 85 safe, race fuel safe. And the fuel hose is also made of the Viton viscous material. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm gonna post all their stuff down below for you guys. It comes from anfittings.com or anhosefittings.com, which I didn't know, like RaceFlux is that. Like they own that, that is them, it's the same company. So that to me is very, very cool. So all this stuff comes from them. And here's the biggest kicker. Lifetime warranty. I've never seen any company offer lifetime warranty on fittings and hose. So supposedly this is supposed to like last a very, very long time. Obviously you're offering a lifetime warranty. It's kind of a big deal. So, and here's the other thing too. Everything I ordered came with free shipping. As long as you got economy shipping, it was all free. And the stuff was like, not cheap, but like super reasonably priced. I thought it was gonna be a lot more expensive, kind of like Vibrant or XRP, something crazy like that. But the prices aren't that bad at all. But enough of that. Let's move on to the next here. We've got some 525 Hellcat pumps. We've got 2 of those. I don't want fueling issues. One of these I think would suffice, to be honest, for what my goals were. But just to make things a little bit easier on me, and having a backup pump in case one burns up, something happens, I have it set up. The goal is to only have one running as a primary, the other one to kick on at a certain fuel pressure or a certain PSI. Then we have a bunch of radium stuff here. Like, I love a radium product. Absolutely love it. I went ahead and got their radium fuel filter. Now, I already have a fuel lab on it, but I want to show you guys one good reason to change out from the fuel lab. Although it has been a very good filter and I haven't had a single issue with it, check this out. So here's my fuel lab. This is a paper filter. I had a brand new one just sitting there, so I grabbed that. Obviously, they're all the same size. You have stainless. You have the, I forget what the other one's called. It's like a fiberglass material. But look at the size difference right off the bat. I mean, you have way more surface area on this, and it's actually physically thicker and wider too on top of it. I really, really like this. I also like with this, the finish on it, the inlet and outlet numbering on it. So if you actually see the top of it here, it actually has it labeled and stuff. It actually says 10 in or -10 orifice fitting. That's what you have to put in here. So if, in case you didn't have one, you already know what you need to put in. And it tells you outlet. This is inlet. So this is where actually the fuel comes out. This is where the fuel goes in. And I went ahead and bought their radium bracket. Now this bracket is also specific to the Mark IV chassis. So this actually bolts up in the factory location to where the factory fuel filter went, which I really, really, really like that. I thought that was neat. And then the last one, and this is probably my favorite thing I bought, is the on fuel rail fuel pressure regulator. Now look how small this thing is. And I was a little worried it was gonna be a little too small and it wouldn't hold, but my understanding is that this thing will hold all of it. But to give you guys perspective, check this out. There's my Aeromotive, and there's my new radium fuel pressure regulator. It's crazy. Now, the one problem is with the fuel pressure regulator from Radium is it doesn't have a port like the Aeromotive does. But they sell you a little piece that actually bolts and mounts up to the center of the fuel rail, because they're like, you don't need to use a center drain. That's there actually to use it for fuel pressure sensor. That's why they have it there. Right now I currently have it blocked off, so I'm gonna put the sensor in based off that. They give you the few swivels that you need to go into it. But this actually goes on the back of the fuel rail right here. It's kind of hard to see, but it'll go right here. They come with this little nifty way of attaching, which I'm hoping I have over here, and I'll show you quick. So it comes with this little guy here. So first off, you want to go ahead and screw this in. This is an -8 orb fitting. You go ahead and screw that and tighten it down as tight as you can. Then you take this and press it into there, and it comes with a little mount, which is right here. And it goes around it. If you can see, it has a little slit in it there. This goes around it, and then you bolt it to the side of this, and it holds it in place and keeps it from losing pressure. And that's how you're able to bolt directly to the fuel pressure, to the fuel rail. I thought that was very, very cool. I've never seen that before, and it cleans things up. Obviously, you have less hoses now. It comes directly off that and goes right back to the tank. There's nowhere to cut, so it goes from right there to the tank. So it'll be one giant line. That's gonna be interesting to make that. I have to take that on and off a bunch of times to make sure I get the length right, but I think it's gonna be worth it in the end. The only thing I'm waiting on here still is I'm waiting on Powerhouse Racing to send me a fuel pump hanger, the fuel hose hangers, I guess you want to call them, not hangers, but the fittings that actually hold underneath the chassis. And then I also got their special little fitting that goes around the ED5 sensor that actually makes it AN fittings on both sides. I know they have other style for it, but this makes it really, really clean and easy. I'm gonna show you guys when I make all this, how I'm gonna route it, and how to do all this, how to make AN fittings and do all that fun stuff. I'm gonna go over it step by step, especially with the RaceFlux stuff. But that's just part of this video. This is just one thing which I'm really excited about. The biggest one. The wife's car finally runs. So it ended up being the MAF sensor, guys. So let's go ahead and pop the hood here for you. This the only part that sucks. She's still got a hood prop. I'm so used to just lifting that up, but I fixed that too. I'll show you here in a minute. But it ended up being the MAF. Mike Pippin, I hope I'm saying his last name correctly. He was kind enough to actually send me one of these out. I got it for really, really cheap. I just needed a MAF, plugged it in. As soon as you put it in, it started up immediately. And it ran perfect. It ended up being a MAF the whole time. If you guys saw my last video, I actually did testing on all of the, I guess, well, I'm not sure what you would call it, the nodes, or I'm not sure what the proper name is, so I apologize. But I did all the wire testing and stuff. I checked the actual plugs here. I checked the idle air control valve, TPS, and I actually checked the water coolant temp sensor. Those are the 4 things that really mess with idle. I checked the TPS first off, and that didn't affect anything. Worst came to worst, it was gonna be the TPS because those are a pain in the butt to reset. These are easy and there's actually sitting around everywhere. So that was a really easy fix for me. Best part was a cat, as you saw, was able to actually fix this herself, which is pretty freaking awesome. Got the trunk open because I got some other things to do, but if we go in here, I don't know where the keys are at. There they are. My wife has a bad habit of putting the keys in here, but check this out. You put the key in, watch this. Starts and idles. Finally, guys, freaking finally. I feel like this has been a long time, so I'm happy. We're still having issues with this damn head unit. I'm not too pleased with it, to be honest. It keeps not wanting to connect. It keeps giving us issues. It's been quite frustrating, to be honest. I'm hoping to finally fix that here. I'm gonna try actually installing, just do it a corded style, see if you can make phone calls that way, because the Bluetooth version or the Bluetooth way isn't working all that well. And for people looking for updates on Tony's car, we have the parts. It's just I've been so busy. I was just at the NASCAR event this past weekend here, which you guys will see an awesome video coming up of that. I've just been swamped. There's not enough hours in the day for me right now. There just isn't. And if you guys saw in my last videos too, I have my awesome Pure Function decal, which is peeling right now because of the humidity. So I got to get up here and actually apply some adhesive to it. So you can see the U is starting to come off. It just does not like the humidity. This thing is made of those fat head material, so they're not supposed to be permanent. So that's why moisture is getting behind it and peeling it up. I'm hoping if I get up here, press on it a little bit or put a piece of tape behind it, it'll survive for now. But that's my problem I'm running into. But I thought that was very cool. Joe Law of a Duella Designs, he makes all this stuff for all the Z's and all this stuff for our Supras, like my cover that's under the car. He was kind enough to send me that. So that's what I'm waiting on right now. And then for my car, like you guys saw there, besides the fuel, we'll just have to take it for tuning. Now I'll have to show the injectors as soon as they get here. They should be here this week. They actually might even be out front. Well, that sucks. Unfortunately, they're not outside. Waiting on the last couple parts because then I can install it all and we can go forward. I hate this waiting game. It drives me absolutely insane, especially when you have your car so close and you're so ready to start it up. I actually haven't driven it probably now in two weeks, just because I've been so damn busy. I just don't have time to mess with it. One thing it's weird, so I got Cat Supra up here. I erased all the MR2. We got Tony stuff, valve springs, yep, intercore piping we do have. We've got to clean his fuel filter yet. We actually bought a whole new fuel filter. I made him switch over to the radium one for him also. For Cat's car, we've got paint, wheels, we haven't done that. ECU done, front lip bought, headlights bought, taillights bought, engine, obviously haven't done that yet. And this is all her hand, right? This is stuff she wanted done. Fuel system we have, but I haven't put it in, so I haven't taken it off yet. Battery relocate, we're obviously gonna be doing that. I have the battery sitting over there. I've just gotta figure out how I wanna run it. Custom coolant overflow tank. That is something I've been wanting for a while. As you can see, this just sits here and I hate it. So I'm probably gonna have the guys up at Empire Performance make me something else and put it down in the fender somewhere just to hide it, especially without this being here anymore. I wanna clean up this entire area. I can run this coolant line down back behind here and I'll put it somewhere under the headlight, make something slim and nice to use. I really want to go to electric fans. I know a lot of people say blah blah blah, they're not that great. Well, if you get proper IS300 fans, they work fine. You don't have any issues. And even this, I mean, this isn't that great. Unless I'm physically moving, it's not all that great. If you have the AC on, it doesn't work. Now, anything below 60, well, 70, I'll say even. Anything below 70 degrees outside, it's fine. But with here this summer, there's a couple times I was like, well, the car's starting to overheat. It got up to like 215, and 215 is too high for me. That's where I start to feel uncomfortable, and I'm like, yep. I literally popped the hood while we're in the parking lot to let it cool off, and I just wasn't happy there. So definitely electric fans. HVAC lights and the LED lights for the gauges, I'm going to replace all that with Stu Hagen. I've got to redo the seats, but I have to do it in mine and her car now, so that kind of sucks because that's double the money. And then a custom steering wheel. I wanted one of those custom flat bottom steering wheels you've seen. Mine is, my God, this car is dirty. That shows how much I've been driving it. I want one of those cool flat bottom steering wheels. I've seen a couple guys run them and I always like them. There's nothing wrong with the factory one, but I think that would look cool. And I'd also like to get one for Kat, but I want to get something that I can use paddle shifters with it, because eventually this car is going to get a 6R80 Mustang transmission. If you guys saw the day, Powerhouse Racing just came out their 6R80 kit. Now I know it's just the first one they've done, so I'm kind of excited to see what they do here in the future and do some testing. But apparently I can run like an AIM Infinity ECU and then run a separate controller just for the transmission itself. So I'm interested in seeing how that all works out. Sorry guys, not a whole lot of, I guess what's the word I'm looking for, not a whole lot of physical working today, but I tried to get as much done as I could and show you guys where we're at. Showing you the install here coming up. You guys, I know you're gonna love that. And then just a couple other things. So I'm sorry there wasn't a lot getting worked on today, but I promise you there's more coming per usual. If you can, guys, down below, check it out. Facebook, Instagram, you know what to do. I'm out of here. Peace!